Have you ever seen one decision destroy an entire company's reputation in a matter of minutes? What happened at a small automotive repair shop shocked everyone who witnessed it. A hardworking single father was humiliated and fired in front of his co-workers. The CEO thought she was teaching him a lesson. Instead, she sparked something she never expected. Within hours, every mechanic in the building made a choice that would change all of their lives forever. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to Heart Kindness Tales, like this video, and leave a comment below telling us where you're watching from. Your support helps us share more inspiring stories about kindness, courage, and hope. Now, let's begin today's story. Michael Carter was a hardworking mechanic in Ohio. At 38 years old, he was raising his 8-year-old daughter, Emma, completely on his own. Life had not been easy for him. After losing his wife to a serious illness several years earlier, Michael had devoted every part of his life to being both a father and a provider. Every morning, he woke up before sunrise, prepared Emma's breakfast, dropped her off at school, and then headed to work at Anderson Auto Group. He was known as one of the most skilled mechanics in the company. Customers trusted him, and co-workers respected him. But what truly made Michael special was his kindness. Whenever a new employee joined the shop, Michael was the first to offer help. If someone was struggling financially, he quietly contributed money without expecting recognition. When customers couldn't afford expensive repairs, he often stayed late to find affordable solutions. His co-workers admired him because he treated everyone with dignity. One Monday morning, everything changed. The company's CEO, Victoria Anderson, arrived unexpectedly at the repair facility. Victoria had inherited the business from her father and had recently taken control of operations. Unlike her father, who was respected for caring about employees, Victoria was obsessed with numbers and profits. That morning, Michael received a phone call from Emma's school. His daughter had become sick and needed to be picked up immediately. Concern filled his heart. He quickly informed his supervisor and explained the situation. The supervisor understood and told him to go take care of his daughter. As Michael gathered his tools and prepared to leave, Victoria happened to walk through the shop. "Where do you think you're going?" she demanded. Michael politely explained the situation. "My daughter is sick. The school called. I need to pick her up." Victoria crossed her arms. "We are already behind schedule. You can't just leave in the middle of a shift." Michael remained calm. "Family emergencies happen. I'll come back if I can." The employees nearby fell silent. Victoria's expression hardened. "No. If your personal life is more important than this company, then maybe you don't belong here." The room became completely quiet. Michael looked stunned. "Excuse me?" "You heard me," Victoria said loudly enough for everyone to hear. "You're fired." Several mechanics exchanged shocked looks. One employee even stepped forward. "Ma'am, his daughter is sick." Victoria ignored him. "I need employees who are committed to the company." Michael stood there for a moment. Years of loyalty had been erased in seconds. Instead of arguing, he quietly removed his company badge and placed it on a workbench. "I hope someday you understand what's truly important," he said softly. Then he walked away. Everyone watched him leave. For a few moments, nobody spoke. Then something unexpected happened. The oldest mechanic in the shop, Frank Dawson, removed his gloves. "If Michael goes, I go." He placed his badge next to Michael's. Another mechanic stepped forward. "Me too." Then another. And another. Within minutes, every mechanic in the building had quit. Victoria couldn't believe what she was seeing. "You can't all leave," she shouted. But nobody listened. These workers weren't simply quitting a job. They were standing beside a man who had spent years standing beside them. By the end of the day, the repair facility was practically empty. Cars sat unfinished. Customers became frustrated. Appointments were cancelled. The company began losing thousands of dollars. Meanwhile, Michael was at home taking care of Emma. He had no idea what had happened after he left. The next morning, his phone wouldn't stop ringing. Coworkers called to tell him they had all resigned. Michael was overwhelmed. "You didn't have to do that," he told them. Frank laughed. "Actually, we did. Kindness matters. Loyalty matters." Over the following weeks, something remarkable happened. The mechanics began discussing a new idea. Instead of searching for separate jobs, they decided to start their own repair shop together. Everyone contributed what they could. Some invested savings. Others donated tools. A local businessman who had heard about their story offered them a vacant building at a reduced rent. The community rallied behind them. Customers who had trusted Michael for years followed him. Within months, Carter Family Auto Repair opened its doors. The business wasn't built on fear. It wasn't built on pressure. It was built on respect. Michael became the manager, but he treated every employee like family. If someone needed time off for their children, they got it. If a worker faced hardship, the team helped. The atmosphere was completely different. Customers noticed. Employees noticed. Even local news stations began covering their story. Business grew rapidly. 1 year later, Carter Family Auto Repair had become one of the most trusted repair shops in the region. Meanwhile, Anderson Auto Group struggled. The company faced staffing shortages and declining customer satisfaction. Many people remembered what had happened. Eventually, Victoria realized her mistake. One afternoon, she visited Michael's shop. The employees recognized her immediately. The room became quiet. Victoria approached Michael. For the first time, she looked humble. "I came to apologize," she said. Michael listened silently. "I thought leadership was about control. I thought profits mattered most. I was wrong." Tears filled her eyes. "I hurt a good man." Michael looked around at the team standing behind him. Then he smiled gently. "We all make mistakes." Victoria nodded. "But not everyone gets a second chance." Michael extended his hand. "Kindness starts with forgiveness." Victoria shook his hand. It wasn't about winning. It wasn't about revenge. It was about choosing compassion. That moment reminded everyone watching that true strength doesn't come from power or position. It comes from how we treat people. The greatest leaders aren't those who command respect through fear. They're the ones who earn it through kindness. And sometimes, a single act of standing up for someone can inspire an entire community. So if there's one lesson in today's story, it's this. Never underestimate the power of kindness. A kind word can change someone's day. A loyal friend can change someone's life. And a group of people willing to stand together can change an entire future. Thank you for watching Heart Kindness Tales. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe, like, and share it with someone who believes kindness still matters. Until next time, remember that every act of kindness creates a ripple that can travel farther than you ever imagine. The success of Carter Family Auto Repair surprised everyone in town. What began as a small repair shop founded by a group of loyal mechanics had quickly become one of the most trusted businesses in the region. Customers appreciated the honesty, employees enjoyed coming to work, and Michael finally felt hopeful about the future. But just when life seemed to be getting better, a new challenge arrived. One rainy afternoon, Michael received a phone call from Emma's school. His heart immediately raced. The principal's voice sounded concerned. "Michael, Emma has been having some problems lately." Michael rushed to the school. There, he learned that Emma had been getting bullied by a group of students. They made fun of her because she didn't have a mother and because her father worked as a mechanic. Emma sat quietly in the office with tears in her eyes. Michael's heart broke. That evening, he sat beside her on the couch. "You know something, sweetheart," he said softly. "What?" Emma asked. "The strongest people aren't the ones who never get hurt. They're the ones who keep being kind even after they've been hurt." Emma nodded slowly. She didn't fully understand yet, but she trusted her father. The next day, Michael decided to do something unexpected. Instead of becoming angry, he organized a community event called Kindness Day. The goal was simple: bring families together and teach children the importance of respect, empathy, and helping others. At first, only a few people signed up. Then local schools became interested. Church groups joined. Businesses offered support. Soon, hundreds of people planned to attend. On the morning of the event, volunteers filled the community center. Children painted kindness posters. Families shared meals. People told stories about moments when someone had helped them through difficult times. Emma helped welcome guests at the entrance. For the first time in weeks, she looked happy. Then something surprising happened. 3 students who had bullied Emma arrived with their parents. The boys looked nervous. One of them slowly approached Emma. "I'm sorry," he said quietly. The other boys apologized too. Emma looked at her father. Michael simply smiled. Instead of holding on to anger, Emma chose forgiveness. The boys ended up spending the afternoon helping younger children with games and activities. By the end of the day, new friendships had formed. The event became a huge success. Local newspapers wrote articles about it. People began organizing Kindness Day every year. What started as one father's response to pain became a tradition that united an entire community. That evening, as Michael and Emma walked home under the setting sun, Emma squeezed her father's hand. "Dad?" "Yes?" "I think kindness is stronger than being mean." Michael smiled. "It always is." Neither of them knew that an even bigger challenge was waiting just around the corner. And that challenge would test everything they believed about kindness, courage, and standing together. Part 2 ends with a cliffhanger and naturally leads into Part 3.